Morning, everyone. Keith here at Good Heart Church. I want to welcome everybody that's here. And my brother back, Paul, who is helping behind the scenes here. It's been up to me and Mary the whole time. We also want to thank Mary for being the videographer. And so thank them for helping us. Want to invite any lake spirits in that might be here or want to join us, as well as all you people in YouTube land. We'd like to welcome you all here, whether you're here now on the live session or whether you're watching it after the fact at your leisure. You probably saw as you were waiting on start, you probably saw about the big happenings this year. That's what today's subject is going to be. And so yeah, we're gonna get into some of the stuff that's happening both earthly and spiritually, I think. So let's just go ahead and I wanted to mention too that we're gonna start. I don't know exactly when not this week, but not sure when it's gonna happen. It'll be next week, but we're going to start a 7-week or an 8-week series of the chakras. We're gonna spend 1 week just going over all 7 chakras briefly, and then we will concentrate on one chakra at a time for the next 7 weeks after that. How they work with you and what characteristics they have and so forth. So be aware that that's going to be happening in the near future. Some of it may have to be pre-recorded if I have my procedure done on my hip, but it'll still be there. So be aware of that it's coming up here in the next few weeks as soon as I can see get the stuff that I want to get together for you. I'm trying to get an actual poster program. It might have to wait till after my procedure. I don't know. So we'll just play that by ear. I just want to let you know that's what's coming up. And so yeah, right now let's go ahead and speak your deity in whichever manner you want, usually prayer, and ask to be brought together with whatever it is that you need to be bringing in today, and whatever resonates with you, take, and whatever doesn't resonate with you today, let it go till future time. With that said, let's go ahead and speak with our own individual deities. Let's now go into a small relaxation process as you come out of your prayers. And as we should do that, let's sit as straight as we can, keeping our back as straight as we can to let the energies run through all our chakras and bring about what it is we need today. And starting at the top of your head, relax your scalp and your temples. Relax your forehead and take the crease out in from as you relax your eyebrows and your eyes. Relax your cheeks and your jawbone. Let's drop that tongue down to the bottom of your mouth as we continue to relax our whole mouth. Relax your ears and your neck. Drop those shoulders away from your ears and relax them as well. As we do this with each breath out, and relax one more part of your body. Relax your upper arms, your elbows, your lower arms, your wrists, hands, and fingers. Relax your chest and your upper back, your belly, and your lower back. Without forcing yourself into what you are sitting on, go ahead and relax your buttocks and your hips, sinking down into whatever it is you're sitting at. Relax your upper legs and your knees, your lower legs, your ankles, feet, and toes. As you relax into this with each breath out, go ahead and relax for a few more moments. And each breath out, go further down your body as suggested. As you come out of your relaxation process, give yourself to spirit to accept whatever it is that you are to receive today, and maybe even share it with others as to what's going on. Bring yourself back to the room that you're in and become part of this process that we're talking about today, the gathering that you were in. Okay, so today we're going to talk about the happenings. And I want to start this out by saying I'm not an expert on any of this, particularly the astrology that goes along with this. But a lot of it has been bombarding me on my social media and on my in my intuition has been bombarding me about things that are happening that are going on right now. So bear with me, my hand is cold today, so I gotta wear a mitten. So what is happening? Well, what's been coming to me mostly these days is initially is the eclipse that we had on the 17th, the solar eclipse in the southern hemisphere. It was in Australia, I believe. And right on its heels was the conjunction of Neptune and Saturn. And a lot of energy is moving around all that. There's so much going on right now just in those two things. It's bringing Neptune, and I might have this backwards, but I believe Neptune is bringing in the new and Saturn is taking out the old. It might be vice versa. Look that up and find out. But old energies, old stabilities, old um, geopolitical systems are all going by the wayside supposedly, and new is coming in. Now that's significant with the eclipse because the eclipse was a major eclipse. Not only was it the solar eclipse in Australia, but it was also the beginning of the Chinese New Year's, the fire horse, and that was about fire, meaning taking off, being creative, being fiery, and a horse being fast. So those were some of the things that are all happening all at one basic time. There's another lunar eclipse happening, I believe on March 3rd is the lunar eclipse, partial lunar eclipse. And there's just so many astrological happenings. There's something else going on in April, and there's some goings on in June and July, and then again in October. And it's just going to be a very, very eventful year. Some people are saying, and I wanted to mention Pam Gregory is one of the astrologers that I'm getting some of this information from. She's very good. She's world renowned, and she's I believe she's from Britain. She still practices in Britain, and she is phenomenal. And there's also another place out there. It's a piece out there that is called. Let me think what it's called. Let me look it up on my phone. I have it right here. Um, it's called Wisdom from the North. She's also from Britain or at least the United Kingdom. She might not be from Britain itself. I suggest you watch her interview with Pam Gregory. Lots of information in that. They're long. They're usually about an hour long, so they're not something that you're just going to watch in 15, 20 minutes. Great information there. Those are the people that I get a lot of information from. I also get a lot of information about the Edgar Cayce files, and the Edgar Cayce files are talking about major changes this year as well. I don't know how many people are familiar with Edgar Cayce, but there is a place called ARE, which is Association of Research. Research and Enlightenment is the name of his thing. And it's in Virginia Beach. And there's a lot going on with him. I'll let you research him about who he is, what he was. He was called the Sleeping Prophet. He was around in the 1920s and 19 teens, and put out some great information, almost to prophecies of sorts, and as well as readings of other people and how to heal them, and other things going into other parts of their lives and past lives and so on and so forth. So I suggest those three people in particular. Edgar Cayce himself never wrote a book, but he has over 14,000 readings that people go in and research and either write books about or make YouTube videos about. I caution you away from people who are putting fear-based information out there about Edgar Cayce or about anybody else. And the reason I say that is because anybody that has any spiritual understanding of any of this that's going on will understand that fear just draws fear back to you. So we don't want to be fearful of what's happening. We want to embrace it. We want to become one with it and let it grow inside of us and not fear it, because fear will just bring fear back. And then it's just a snowball effect. So we need to, I highly suggest that you accept it for what it is and how it's going to work. Now, some of the consequences on the earth are going to be more protests than what we've had already, maybe even worldwide protests. The hierarchy is possibly going to fall. There'll be a change or reversal of wealth in this country. There'll be more people awakening to the truths, to the spiritual truths, as well as to the third dimensional truths or scientific truths. There'll be a lot of things that will be coming out that we have been lied to about in our programming that will come to light and will show that what the real truth is. All this is going to happen this year. There's many things, and I forgot to mention that there'll be, and I'm only going to mention one of them, but there, as it is every year, we have 3 Mercury retrogrades. First one is starting on the 26th here of February and goes through, I believe, the 20th of March. And those are always times that you have that you can, if you're not planned ahead of time and you don't think things through properly, that you can have problems with communication and transportation in particular. If you're going to take a trip or sign a contract or any of the other things, make sure that you are well aware of what's happening. You read everything through perfectly and know what's going on. Now, the thing about all this is that this all sounds very three-dimensional. And all these changes are happening in the third dimension. Well, the truth of the matter is they're happening both on the spiritual plane and third dimensionally. The energies that we get from the universe, the energies we get from the planetary efforts or transfer movings of the planets and going through different houses of the zodiac are all their energies, so they travel. They're spiritual energies, so they travel. And let's not forget that whatever happens on this earth has a ripple effect out into the universe. It's like throwing a stone into a pond. It ripples and ripples and ripples and ripples. So there's going to be other things going on in the universe that we may not even be aware of. We may see some things that are strange. We may start hearing one of the things that's going to happen with all these changes that are going on is the veil between spirit and us in the third dimension is going to become thinner and thinner and thinner. I'm not saying you're going to see other beings right away. It might not be for another year or two. It might be this year. I don't know. But it has been suggested in some of the things that I've been following that we might at least start hearing them. You might hear strange voices coming in, and you'll know they're not from in your head, but you won't be able to see the where they're coming from. You won't be able to see the entity of where it's coming from. You also may have an enhanced intuition. You may get telepathic communications with things, with other entities. Keeping in mind that all these entities are you, because we're all one. So it's not like we're here alone. We are all one with every entity in this universe. So you can sort of see that might be something that you can entertain, is the fact that if you hear something, it's probably for your own good, if you can actually discern what they're saying. There's also at the beginning maybe just noises that you can't discern exactly what's being said or what the communication is, and that will get more and more refined as time goes on. There's just so many things that I'm sure I'm not going to touch on all of them today, because there's just so many things that are going on. We're talking about back to the third dimension. I might be jumping back and forth because as things come to me, I'm mentioning them, but we're also talking about the collapse of the monetary systems throughout the world. We're talking about more and more natural disasters, which in some ways you can say they are not. They may look like natural disasters to us, but it's part of the process of change. We've had tremendous fires in Oklahoma, Texas, and Kansas right now. We're having volcanoes go off that are not normally to go off. We're having things that have not happened in thousands of years. There was one volcano that I believe it was out of Australia, Paul, Ethiopia, that went off for the first time in either 12 or 14,000 years. They came out. And some of these are not big eruptions. They're just sort of bubbling up over top of the caps of their caldeiras. And they're not the big eruptions like you would expect, like to have in places like Hawaii and Iceland. Although Iceland didn't blow that much, it just sort of overtopped its cap too, I think, for the most part. So a lot of these disasters are, as I put it, is Mother Earth moving. She's going through labor pains to create a new Earth. And as she does that, she's shaking off her fleas, the parasites that she has on her. And those parasites are necessary, need to move on. So there's just a lot going on, and all this is in preparation for the new Earth. Now, we don't know exactly what the new Earth is going to be, but it is said, and these are through prophecies, it is said that the air will become more crystalline. It is said that we will be able to have harmony with other beings other than what we know on Earth now. It is said that it will be more harmonious to the Earth Mother, to Gaia. It is said that it will be a change in vibration, change in frequency. And in order for us to, that's why that's one of the reasons why so many people are awakening, is that in order to stay with the vibration of the Earth Mother, we have to raise our vibration. And by raising that vibration, people are awakening. And by awakening, then they are becoming part of and harmonious to Gaia. You know, I was talking the other day to somebody, and we were talking about it's 144,000 people that it says in the Bible that are going to survive these changes. Of course, they call it Armageddon, but that's very possibly a mistranslation. But the 144,000 people is not necessarily mean there's only 144,000 out of 8 billion people on this earth that is going to survive this. That is either maybe a percentage of the people that were around in that time. It might just be a symbolic number saying not everybody is going to make it through this, because their vibration isn't high enough. It's not necessarily just your faith, but it's also the vibration. And if you have the true faith in whatever is coming, you'll have the higher vibration. But it's also about bringing yourself to that vibration, and realizing, and if you're at the right vibration, you'll understand that if the earth changes and you're not there when it changes, you are still here. You're just here in spirit form. You don't have to be in a human body to help. You can help from the spirit if that's what you're supposed to do. And not that we make that thought pattern to say, I'm got to go. That's not really what happens. What happens is that your spirit says, I can help better from the other side. I've done all I can in this incarnation. It's time for me to move on and do it in a different manner. And that may be the way it is for some of you. And so this is what's the word I'm looking for? it's to redo what happened to the Atlanteans and bring about a better result instead of destroying ourselves as the Atlanteans, or people feel that the Atlanteans did. Although, if you listen to Edgar Casey, some of them moved to the Yucatan Peninsula, other ones moved to Egypt from Atlantis. But it's because they became too Atlanteans became too third dimensional, high energy, high um, technologically, high scientific, and they forgot about spirit. And the ones that the law of one, the ones that were a part of the law of one, were not big enough, were not capable of saving Atlantis. Now it is our time for that correction. I believe it's Edgar Casey who says that many of us are reincarnates of the Atlantean peoples. And this is our chance to correct what happened in the last demise of the Atlantean people. And if you look at the Knights Templars, you find that America is supposed to be the new Atlantis. So there's so much information out about this that it takes a long time to get it down and get it figured out as to what's going to happen and how it's going to happen and what might be the best for you to do. Let's not go into fear. Let's not try to rush out to things and get things prepared in a third dimensional way, even though I've done that. But let's be aware that as the Earth changes and becomes crystalline atmosphere, will be more crystalline as well. We won't have as many issues as we have today. As I said, we'll be more harmonious. And the best way to get in touch with all that is to meditate and become more of a higher vibration. And that's number one. That's the biggest thing we have to do. We have to always consider the fact that there's a difference between faith and belief. Belief is in your head, faith is in your heart. So reading books where they are great to instigate more work, more inner work, they should not create your beliefs, but help you go inside and create your faith and find your faith, I should say. And that's what studies are all about, is about inspiration. And so that you can further yourselves and find out where you might want to concentrate on. So I don't know what time it is now, but looks like we might be a little shorter than usual today. That's about all I have today. Subscribe, hit the thumbs up, share this with other people, ring the bell if you wish, but above all, be spiritual in everything you do.